Oh God, this is. I guess I'm streaming again on Facebook. I got to figure this out with Facebook and Zoom. Boy, oh boy. So I have no idea how long I was on trying to figure this out. So I'm just going to pick it up from here. Um, I will get this. I will get this. Anyways, I am coming on today to do the last of a 3-part series I've been doing with leadership, stepping into 5D leadership and the initiations that we get to go through when we decide to step into the fire and let things burn away what's no longer resonant. And if you have, seen my last couple of videos, maybe not, but the first one I talked about was leadership through adversity, really being initiated through like a very difficult situation and who you get to be in that moment. And then the second one was about exiting the system, like really getting to leave behind the structures and the beliefs that no longer serve you. And today I want to talk about one of my favorite topics because it's so important for the future of leadership that we, step into this new way of surrender. And surrender is one of those things that until you really practice it, does it become something that really becomes real for you? It's a concept that we can talk about and intellectualize, but until we really get to practice it within our businesses, within our personal lives, then we don't really know what it's all about. And so what I want to share with, everybody today is if you've been following me, I was talking about how I decided at the beginning of this year that I wanted to start, I've been dreaming about doing a mastermind for a long time in my business. And I got really like initiated into it once I decided I wanted to fully do it. And it's something that, really opens my heart. I'm so passionate about it. And there's these things, these callings that we have, right, that are asking us to step into the next level. And so for me, when I decided to do this, the third initiation I got was this surrender. Oh my gosh. It was just a few weeks ago. I mean, actually, it might have even been 2 weeks ago. I was just having a week where every time I thought something was happening, and check this out, as entrepreneurs, if you're with me on this, like give me some hearts and love or likes. As entrepreneurs, we, try and do the best that we can with planning things out and having this, idea of where we're going to be going with our business and what's going to be happening and all this kind of stuff, right? Well, all the best plans in the world sometimes do not work, right? We're trying to control and think that we have like this idea of how that it's going to come together. And for me, life was moving me in all these different directions. And so instead of trying to just kind of keep pushing forward in the direction I was going, I had to really stop and say, okay, what's happening here? Because from the outside looking in, it would look like something wasn't working. It was like, okay, why isn't this coming together? And I'll give you an example. I just want to be really transparent about, what this could look like in your business or even in your personal life. For me, within my business, I'm doing a retreat in Italy, in Tuscany. And speaking of surrender, I mean, now with like this whole coronavirus thing, it's like, oh my goodness. But I think it's all going to be cleared up by then. So it's going to be great. But one of the things that happened that week was, somebody messaged me, I want to go to your retreat. I'm so excited. And I was like, great, this is wonderful. And then as the week progressed, then she found out that she had to be at a court date. She already put her deposit down. And it was just one of those weeks where everything that was like going in a certain direction started to fall apart. And I thought, oh, I had that sale. And then all of a sudden I wake up to a text on a Friday morning and I don't have the sale. And, my ego was like, what's happening? Oh my gosh. And then I was thinking, wait a second. It's always about trust, right? We always have to trust when if something's being taken away from us, then it's probably not meant to be. I always believe in divine redirection. So it was, taken, out of, what was, I thought, okay, this isn't supposed to happen. So I messaged her back and I was like, that's fine. She wanted her deposit back. I was like, that's okay. Like, we'll do that. And then I just prayed to the divine. I was like, divine, this has been a hell of a week because other things were transpiring. I'm just giving you one example of many things that were unfolding that week. And I said to myself, okay, I text her back. I'm like, I'm going to give her the money next week and, moving on. And the most beautiful thing happened because really I let go. And I really feel like everything always has a right to exist, right? And when we stop resisting things, then the grace that wants to come in will come in. So the amazing thing that came out of something that seemed like a loss, right? Because we get so attached, like, oh, this isn't working out for me. And we're just in this, energy of expectation. She messaged me later that day and said, oh, you know what? I was looking at your program, Soul Academy, and I feel like I would be a perfect fit for it. My deposit is the same, as, the Soul Academy. So can I just switch it over? And I was like, oh my God, yes. So it's just like, that's such like a micro snippet, like such a small thing, but it's just really like, as leaders, we really have to step into this ability to surrender, to let go, to not hold on so tight to things. Um, and, when we have this beautiful integration of the masculine and feminine, the masculine knows when to push forward, right? And to make things happen. And the feminine knows when to receive. And, in that instance, it was like, let go so you can receive. And I think that's the dance that we're all trying to figure out as leaders, right? And I think the next step of that is really letting life channel through you. Like, what would it look like for you in your life if you allowed yourself to just let my life move through you? Just really be a channel of the divine. Let source energy flow through you. So you're co-creating from the highest level of you, where there's room for change, there's room for mistakes, there's room for failure, there's room for everything that wants to exist. Because if you're failing, at least you're showing up, right? Not everything's going to work out. And in that situation where my retreat thing could have gone in a different direction, my ego was like, oh, I need to fill this retreat, or I need this to happen a certain way. And then when I really thought about it, I was like, no, I don't. Like, it's going to all come together in the way that it's supposed to. And that's the other piece of this, is when you are being, a channel of the divine. The second piece is faith being a true frequency that you hold. It's not just about like, oh, I'm going to have faith and I'm going to trust that everything's going to come together. It's so much bigger than that, right? It's really believing in all the essence of your being, in everything that you are, down to a cellular level, down to your DNA, that whatever is meant to happen for your best and highest good will happen, right? So faith is something that you can't fake. Trust is something that you cannot fake. Surrender is something that it is going to be very painful for you if you don't see it as a way that you're making room and space to offer to source, or to whatever you believe in, the universe, to God, your higher power, the room to intervene. Because our minds can only take us so far, right? We're limited in what we can, come up with sometimes with our logical minds. But if we allow for the bigger and better things to flow through us, then that's when miracles and possibilities happen. And it's amazing, right? So I'm sharing all of this with you because in April, I am going to really be, stepping into this container. I'll be doing the mastermind and I'll be doing more lives, but this is just, these messages have just been messages from my heart about the different initiations. And I feel like leadership is really shifting. And there's just so much noise right now on the internet about, coaching and these steps and all that kind of stuff. And I think really we're coming into this new consciousness, this 5D consciousness, where we don't always have to create from matter. We have to create from the higher realms. And it's a lot of it, most of it's from your frequency, and that's really when you step into the majesty of who you are and how you get to connect with your life and your business and all the different things that are happening for you. If you like this conversation and you want to continue it with me, because I'm going to be having a beautiful group for women called Embodied Empress Collective, where I will be doing lives in there every week around life and business majesty. I'll put the link in the comments to join. And I also have a couple programs that I'm going to be, closing registration for. One, actually, a Soul Academy. And so that will be closing next week. If you're interested in just getting to know me more, message me. I would love to talk, but thanks so much for listening to these messages. And I look forward to doing more Facebook Lives and connecting and getting to know you all more. Okay, take care and have a beautiful day.